You'll share the shloka, Bala? Okay, we will start now. We'll chant Om 3 times, followed by Sahanavavatu. Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu. Sahanau bhunaktu. Sahaviryam karavavahai. Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratah chartheshvabhijñam swarat tene brahma hridaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha Dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam satyam param dhimahi Satchidanandarupaya Vishvotpatyadihetave Tapatraya vinashaya Shri Krishnaya vayam numaha Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Tato Jayamudiraye. So, just to give a summary, shall I give a summary, Bala? So, we started off with the story of King Anga. King Anga was a very, very pious king, very good king, but he didn't have any children, so any babies. So after a lot of tapasya, he gets one son. And that son's name was Vena. But as Vena grows, he ends up being a very, not an ideal child, not an ideal hair. The people he seemed to enjoy being cruel, and the people feared him. The subjects of the kingdom feared him, and King Anga was very what would you say, distraught that he had a child after so long and such a son would come. But in that also he saw that if I had a good son, I would not have been, maybe I got this because I was probably too attached to that idea of having a son in a way. And now this has helped me become detached and seek God. Okay, so that way, from a materialistic desire, he moved on to just the desire to be with the higher reality, and he moves away into the forest. But now the kingdom is left without a king, and all the rishis there. Every rishi's ideal, or the rishi's main purpose that they feel is to elevate human beings. That is why we have been given so many scriptures. After every yuga, they come and what is the right kind of, even this Srimad Bhagavatam is it was in that Naimisharanya, they all sat together and said, which is that scripture that will be right for Kali Yuga, right? So that is what it is a debased human being. How can he be elevated? This is the purpose, and this is all that the rishis really care about. But now they see that if the king is not there, and Vena is not an ideal king, but without a king, now it's something like, without a king, the whole kingdom is in danger and the subjects are in danger. People will come and thieve and do everything. It is like, just because elections were happening in Karnataka recently. So my daughter was coming and asking me, what about the nota option? If we are not having with any, happy with anybody, can we go with the nota option? Okay, I don't have confidence in anybody, so I give nota. So now everybody does nota. This is one movement going on, no, for some time. Nota, let us not, we are not happy with anybody, let us. What will happen is, okay, this is at least at a Karnataka level, let's say. But if it is at an India level, a PM or something, an election is going on and nobody is there, and we don't elect somebody, there is no leader, no head of the country. Okay, we may be happy with the candidate, we may not be happy with the candidate, but some leader is needed at some point in time, because if we don't have a leader, now all the neighboring countries will come into India. They will want to take over India. So is that a good option? It is like choosing between the devil and the deep sea in some ways, but having some kind of leader, at least for a country, keeps the sovereignty of that country, sovereignty of that kingdom in place. And it doesn't make the people susceptible to unwanted activities in the kingdom, at least. So in the same way, the rishis decided that this kingdom, even though Vena is not the ideal king, this kingdom should have a king, some king at least. So they make Vena the king of this this thing, of that kingdom. Now, Vena was he was, in English, there is a word vain. He was full of vanity, full of arrogance, everything, me, myself, self-centeredness. And that I am the king, I should be looked up, I am your protector. So there's a high level of doership here, right? And that when that high level of doership reaches arrogance, it's nothing but a very heavy ego. And so he's like, I am your protector. So what is the point of praying to to a god? You must pray to me. Typically like the Hiranyaksha and all those people, there's no god. You pray to me. I am the protector. All of it's some kind of a dictatorship model, you could say sometimes, I think, right? So you must pray to me. There is no god, kind of a thing. And the people were really, really suffering under his rule. He was the saddest, and people suffered so much that the rishis felt very bad, that they made him the ruler. They somehow felt responsible that they had made him the ruler. So now we need to do something about it. They go and try to reason out with Vena. Also, you must change your ways. This is not good. The people are not happy, but they try everything, and Vena still acts with a lot of arrogance. And when he says, you people are also doing all this yagna and all this wasteful things, you should stop doing all these things. You should say Shri Vena Namaha. You should not say Shri Narayana. Or so that's when they really think this man has no ounce of humility. He's totally separated from the higher reality. He has and is full of the self, so he will not be the right king. And that moment they do a chant and he's dead, drops dead. But the moment now he drops dead, bandits start attacking the kingdom. And the kingdom is in a bad place. Now the rishis are wondering what they should do. You want to say something, Bala?
Yeah. As you were narrating this Vena, and you brought out that Hiranyakashipu, in the mind, this thought came, and actually speaking, Vena is so much into tamas also. The way we read the Vena story, it is, they say, right, tamas and then tamasic rajas. So he is only in the tamasic rajas. Arrogance and all is there, but absolute no knowledge. Okay, absolutely. He did not even care about dharma. Forget the knowledge. He did not even, I think, get that in his mind. Completely tamasic. As the senses dictate, he just was in that life of indulgence. He did not know the consequence of the actions that he was doing. Right? So these all are the qualities that we see in tamas. Whereas sometimes, if you look at Hiranyakashipu and all, they were writing rajas, but they knew, even Duryodhana, he says, right, I know the dharma. They were somewhere, probably, it just came to my mind. I thought it's interesting to see, even in these demonic qualities, when it becomes tamasic, the impact is so high. But Hiranyakashipu, there is no talk about the kingdom, the downfall, people and all. It is about just, the Prahlada's devotion, and then Bhagwan comes and takes back Hiranyakashipu. It is only so much. But here, the impact is even higher. So tamasic is even more dangerous than rajasic is something that came to my mind.
So now, when Vena was dead, the rishis felt they had to do something, because all the robbers and everybody were now coming in, and the people were really in danger at that point in time. So they now know that Vena's mother has preserved his body. So now the rishis go and churn out his thighs. And from the thighs, it is, so we may wonder, even today they do know, it's like, it is like churning out. He's a dead body. That is a dead body. From the thighs come out one, a nishad. He's called nishada. He's supposed to be very dark, and, the tamasic quality of Vena comes out as nishada. So all the sinful traits are there in this nishada. And hence he is sent away to the forest. And then when they continue to churn further, then from the arms, one female and one male come out. And it is like churning. This is what I read somewhere. The beauty is, you may wonder how life can come from a dead body. It is like how when that arani wood is, it is churned or against a dead wood, right? There's no life in it. At that time, that spark of fire comes. Like that, this male and female, they came out, and they are the representation. The female and the male, female is the goddess fortune, Lakshmi Devi herself, and the male is an amsha of Vishnu, and he is known as Prithu. And again, the significance of this is, so when you look at mother fortune, even when you seek mother fortune, why were they doing this? For fortune in the material world. But even when you seek mother fortune, you should always seek mother fortune with Lord Vishnu or Narayana in the mind. Not just, so what was Vena doing? He was just looking at his fame, whatever, material wealth. Many people do that. No, we seek material wealth without an ounce of remembrance of God. Our fortune we want, but we don't remember God at all. But the significance of goddess Lakshmi is fortune along with Narayana. Is the so later on, this female and male, actually they come together. She becomes the wife of Raja Prithu. Now King Prithu has now come out of the arm, and he is made the Raja, and they really praise him a lot. And he is very humble, and he says, before I do anything, why are you praising me so much? And everybody says, because you are the Amsha of Lord Vishnu himself, Narayana himself. He will be a great, he will be, protector of the women, protector of the children, protector of earth and everything. And then now we will start reading the story, I think. Right, that is where we were, that he was being really praised, and the people are all looking up to him. And now he says, I will take on my responsibility. You're all praising me so much, which means he is remembering his responsibility more. I have to do what I have come here for.
One just small addition is Vena's father Anga had done so much tapasya and got son Vena. Right? Sometimes we tend to think, oh, the fruit of tapasya is such a son, is it? Right? Because Anga, we did read, right? Anga did not think that way, but we tend to think in life, with so much effort, with so much, something comes up which is not in favorable to what I think I wanted. So, but if we see, that's what they say, patience is a very, very important quality that we need to develop. King Anga may not have seen, but that tapasya Shakti is the one which has brought in Prithu here.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So I think we only, I may not see the outcome because of my limited, me living as this limited individual, but every effort, whatever, it gets its outcome in the right way. So that is, these things help us build the Shraddha. It is very important to have that faith. Otherwise we get carried away with, many times when the results are not in favor to what I imagine.
That's a beautiful point, Bala. So again, it's like, they say when you sow a seed, that these days there are hybrid trees, but if you really go with the seed from the proper seed, if a tree has to grow, it takes so long, sometimes it may not even fruit in your life. You are putting that seed there so that for the next generation. Or sometimes, so that is where our actions, karma, without expectation, you just do whatever is the sat karma, we just do. There will be at some point in time that it is we are not doing it just when I do something good. Okay, this is a beautiful dialogue from a movie actually called Devar Magan, but it has always stood in my heart. Okay, I'll just bring it. Kamala Hassan and Shivaji Ganeshan are having a discussion, and Shivaji Ganeshan says, why you stay back in this village? He wants to go back to America. He says, you stay back in this village. He says, what will I do here? I cannot do here. He says, you just do. Okay, don't do. And don't do because you want to be praised. Is there some fame? For fame, don't do. Do it because it's your duty. Simply, you just do it because it is your duty. Not because, in Tamil, the way he says is that, na panne perumaya, kadame. Kadame is duty. Perume is
pride.
Pride. Should I take pride that I did? No, it is my duty. I just have to do it and I'll do it. So yeah, that was something I remembered as you were telling. You want to continue reading, Bala? Anybody has anything to share before we move on? You can add in your chat. If any connections, anything, before we move on. I feel this chapter is very relevant as we go reading along also in today's world also. As we read along, we will see how it is so relevant for our way of living in today's world.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you have seen. Maybe we will share that Katha also. 2 years back when we did the Kathotsava, it was, I don't know, this Prithu and all, we'll have to look it up and we will share it in the group. It'll be just nice to even show to children the Katha of Prithu, and we connected it with this modern times, I think.
Correct.
Okay, Prithu's anger. Prithu was crowned as the king of the land, and the gods had called him the protector of the world. The king took the words seriously, and he found that he had a difficult task ahead of him. He found that his subjects were all thin and extremely weak. Before that, so gods called him the protector of the world. Yeah, so we saw in the earlier thing also, Prithu says, now don't say I have not started. Now he has that thing to really get into what he has to do, for what purpose he has come. So the king took these words seriously. So this is something very important. Sometimes in our, children classes also, what we say is, so you're not just this body. Okay, children take it so seriously, It is for us that we get caught with so many other things. You're the real Atma. When we say that, they take it very seriously. In fact, they say that's a wonderful practice to start with also. So I am not this limited body. I'm this Atma. Children take it that way, and they are able to come out of a lot of things just with that. And so here the king, even before doing it, he's now taken that protector of the world very seriously and is going to live up to those words. So if I think I'm Atma, I have to live up to that, right? So like that, just okay. The king took the word seriously, and he found that he had a difficult task ahead of him. He found that his subjects were all thin and extremely weak. They were underfed, undernourished, and this was a painful state of affairs. The subjects spoke to him, and they said, "My lord, please give us food. Like a tree is burnt by the fire concealed in its hollows, we are slowly consumed by the fire of hunger. Our vitals are the suffering, and we are unable to do our work. Give us food. We have been told that the rishis churned the old king, and you were born out of this body to protect us. Please save us from this hunger which is killing us." Continue, Aarti. Prithu pondered for a moment, and he realized the cause of their hunger. He realized that the earth had swallowed up all the nourishing and health-giving seeds and would not give them up, would not let them grow. Prithu was very angry with her for this act of hers, and he decided to punish her. He took up his divine bow and sent an arrow to hurt the earth. Mother Earth became frightened and, taking the form of a cow, fled from him. With her tail raised aloft, with her legs trembling because of her panic, Earth rushed all over the surface of the earth. With his eyes red with anger, Prithu pursued her wherever she went. She ran down the slopes of the mountain. She fled into the valleys. She ran towards the thickets and dense forests, hoping to escape from him. Still, he pursued her relentlessly. Wherever she went, the earth looked back and found him following her with his bow bent. She could find no one to protect her. Finally, she came to him and fell at his feet. She said, "Please protect me. You are the righteous king, and you should not harass a woman like this. You know that it is wrong to kill a woman. Even if she is guilty, a woman should not be killed. Yet, you're trying to kill me, and I have not done you any harm. And again, if you destroy me, how are you going to establish your kingdom?"
So, here, see, now Prithu, let us look at this from a bigger picture. Prithu is now, his job is to take care of the people of his land. But what is happening to the land here? The people are very hungry because there's no food available. And then he goes after Mother Earth. Now, Mother Earth is being signified by the cow, the form of a cow. Okay, so one of the reasons why we also, this cow is such a, one is we pray to her, we respect her, we worship her, because she's like a mother giving us milk. After our mother, we drink her milk. So it's like, that is why in this thing, killing a cow is considered. Killing any being is not right, but of all of that, killing a cow is considered much bigger this thing, because we consider her equivalent to the mother, because we are constantly drinking her milk throughout. That is why one is at that level. And at another level also, if you see, we have cows on our farm, right? And we would, when we do any go puja, we do the puja to the hind of the cow, the hind side of the cow. We will put arshna, kunkma, and everything on the hind side from which the cow dung comes and the cow urine comes. That is where we put, because this cow dung is supposed to, the cow is supposed to, especially if you would go for desi cows and all with that hump, right? So they are supposed to have, they say, 33 crores devatas within them. So, and I had heard this beautiful analogy of 33 crores devatas being compared with 33 crore microorganisms in the gut of the cow. Now, when the cow gives that cow dung is what makes the soil enriched and beautiful. All those microorganisms feed into the soil and that cow and makes the soil fertile. It is because of the microorganisms, there's a food chain reaction in there. One microorganism, then something comes to eat it, then the earth becomes porous. What is happening today? They put pesticides and kill all the microorganisms that are there in the soil also. They're not putting it on the plant alone, they're putting it on the soil also, and all the microorganisms in the soil are killed. And now when the microorganisms are killed, there is no way that aeration is not there in the soil. So what happens? The whole soil gets caked up like clay. And when it starts raining, the water cannot seep in. There are no holes. It is all caked up, the water cannot seep in. And if the water cannot seep in, plants cannot grow well. So now you have to have more labor to till, to aerate. Somebody has to, always regularly you have to keep aerating around the plants because microorganisms are not there. That is why you have to aerate. Otherwise, they will do the work for you and the soil will, and it will be nice and deep and water will get into the ground and the soil will have groundwater, the groundwater table will improve. Soil texture will improve, soil fertility will improve. Okay, so this is what, so Mother Earth is always, because of her output and everything, Mother Earth is always compared to the cow. That is why Go Seva and everything that we do. So Mother Earth is now running away. King Prithu is very upset with her because what is now the rishis have been doing yajna. But the yajna rishis have been doing, but Mother Earth has not been doing her job. She has been taking the harvest, but she has not been giving back what she's supposed to be giving. So Prithu is saying, you have not been doing your duty properly. And he runs after her. And Mother Earth is running and then finally surrenders to Prithu. Now let's listen to what she has to say. Her side of the argument. Why she has not been giving, and that is why the people have been very sick and undernourished. But why has she not been giving? Prithu said, you have been in the wrong, Mother Earth. That is why I am trying to punish you. In the yajnas which are performed by men, your share of the harvest is given to you, and in return, you're not giving us food. You're not doing your duty, and I have to punish you. In the form of a cow, you eat grass every day, and you do not give us milk. You are selfish. You have dared to ignore my rule. You are hiding within yourself the health-giving herbs, which Brahma gave you long ago. My subjects are all suffering from hunger and they have to be comforted. Anyone who does not think of the good of others, be he man or woman, should be killed by a king, and this killing will not be considered a sin. I know Dharma Shastra, and you do not have to teach me the nuances of it. I will have no qualms in killing you, and I will feed my subjects with your flesh. As for your kingdom, with my yoga, I will be able to establish it. So she makes two arguments there. Mother Earth. She says one is, how can you kill a woman? And the second she says is, how will you run a kingdom if you kill me? If there's no earth, how will you run the kingdom? That is what she's trying to make. And that's why he's saying, as for the kingdom, with my yoga, I will be able to establish a kingdom, is what he's saying. Should I stop or continue, Bala?
Continue.
His angry brows and his thunder-like voice and the bow which was still drawn made the earth tremble. She said, I know you to be the Lord of Lords. You have created me so that I can be the home of living and non-living things. You have made me the mother of all these. If you then take arms against me, who will help me? When I was buried deep under the sea in the ocean world, you were in the netherworld. You were the one to lift me up and establish me firmly above the oceans. That same Varaha is you, and you have taken a human form to protect me and my children. And yet, what do I see? My Lord and Master is threatening to kill me with the dreadful arrows in his hand. The ways of the Lord cannot be understood by ignorant persons like me. Please have compassion on me. You were my very protector, and today you are yourself coming to harm me. You want to continue, Bala?
Yeah. It's very beautiful, isn't it? The surrender of Mother Earth comes out very beautifully here. Yes, now she is telling her plea. So there are many good points here, which I thought, okay, we will come back to it. Please listen to me and my plea. A bee collects honey from different flowers drop by drop, and it makes its own honey. This needs so much effort on the part of the bee. A wise man collects truths from different people and different places. He assimilates them all and makes the wisdom of his own. Even so, to get the best out of me, great effort is needed. The rishis had stipulated several tasks for men to get the best out of this world, and several rituals and yagas to become fit for the next world. Those who have followed this right path, those who have followed these rules set by the ancients, sincerely have been able to reap the benefits. When the men were all righteous, they were doing what the rishis had stipulated. But then, as time passed, sinners like Vena began to rule me. Sinfulness became rampant on my surface. Thieves and unjust kings began to harass me, and there was no one to protect me. Ignored as I was by everyone, I realized that the herbs and the other precious plants which Brahma had given me as gifts were used by unworthy men. I decided that the men on earth were not fit enough to taste my seeds and my herbs, and so I swallowed them. You are right when you say that I have hidden them. They do not grow on my surface anymore. It is now up to you to get the best out of me. If you use the proper technique, you will be able to get them all out of me.
So, one of the points here, Mother Earth said, a wise man collects truths from different people and different places. Sometimes we come to quick conclusions, don't we? Somebody said something, immediately we will start judging somebody. Everybody is talking without really putting our mind into it, without really trying to go get the knowledge on it, real knowledge on it. Okay, somebody induces fear into us, and out of that fear, we may just act. It's actually a very unwise way to conclude like that. Even with gossip, somebody just said something, it keeps moving along. What was a small mole can become a mountain as it reaches us, and we believe it. I have not seen it. I have not heard it directly. I am hearing about it from somebody else, but still I will believe it. That is how this works. And so a wise man will go out to really dig out the truth. Find out, is that true? What is the reason this is not happening? Or what is the reason this is happening? How many such cases have happened? How long has it happened? What could be the reason? Only when you go into, otherwise it is just plain gossiping when you talk about anything, right? Only when you really have the knowledge, and then people do go out and kill and do whatever just by hearsay. So the statements are very wise. A wise man will understand. So she is trying to tell her side of the story, and King Prithu is listening to it. Now you listen. And she is putting her side of the thing, where she says, the people were all sinners. When they have a king like Vena, Yata Raja Tatha Praja. When they had a king like Vena, the Praja had also started sinning. And then Mother Earth realized that she was feeding a whole lot of people who were sinners, who did not believe in Yajna. And so she retracted all those it can be that Mother Earth retracts everything because it is her duty to give. Or in another word, if that yajna is not done. Now, what is a yajna? When yajna is done, they say clouds are formed. And it is when the clouds are formed, it rains. And when it rains, plants can grow. That is a physical form of doing yajna. And what is it that is prescribed in today's world as yajna? Nama Sankirtanam. Keep chanting the name of God. That is the yajna. If we forget God, then you can be, even you will see now where they are praying to God in the, in the most humble way, in the right way, there seems to be plenty. In some places, it's a desert. In some places, there is floods. All of these are a result of our own actions in some way. Mother Earth gives, takes, based on the collective consciousness of the people on Earth.
Yeah, very beautiful. This yajna, we will just take a look at it a little bit more now, that because you brought in the rain and all that very beautifully. Later we will see in Bhagavatam, right? The 24 gurus. So then let us not get into that context. Okay, just from that, there is something called in today's world, we may be wondering, is it possible to do the yajna, all the yajnas that we read in Purana? It's not like what Aarti beautifully mentioned. I just remembering Bhagavan in everything. Okay, and selfless acts. That is what is selfless, right? We always say that I am nothing. So whatever I do, give it as an arpanam to Bhagavan, and whatever prasad comes, take it. I mean, whatever result comes in is the prasad, with the as a prasada bhava, taking it at the action level. Yes, and every moment, being connected to that, beautifully Ramana call it as Atisaya Shakti. Okay, Atisaya. Why? Because we cannot understand his ways of working. So that Shakti is there, just being there, protecting, controlling, managing, whatever, everything, right? Yet untouched by all this. So remembering that Bhagavan and doing everything is itself is the yajna prescribed for Kali Yuga. Our rishis and all. So recently someone, was saying before Hinduism, when people were worshipping nature. So that got me to think, okay, first of all, we don't know what he meant by that Hinduism, but worshipping nature has been there in our Vedic. I think only through nature, rishis have that mantra drashta, we say, right? That they have seen the mantra by worshipping nature. And they say nature, there are Ashtamurti, which is always there. I don't have to go to temples and puja room and find a form. That is one way of worship. But nature, the Ashtamurti, they say, right? Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi, 5, and then Chetana, the consciousness, moon, sun. That makes it 8. Okay, so they all are just there. Pratyaksha, every day we wake up in my Jagrat in this world, they are there. And the rishis have shown us the way of living with that reverence. They say, worship these Ashtamurtis more than enough. That is the yajna spirit. Okay, Jagata Ishadi. So even Ramana says that, what is the best way of doing seva is worshipping these Ashtamurti. Okay, what do we mean by worshipping Ashtamurti? Let us take water cycle, for example. We all know that, right? So water cycle in science, how do I learn? Okay, it is so dry, the water comes and then it evaporates, whatever transpires, and then it goes up. There are clouds and clouds are formed. When they become heavy, it rains. Okay, I recently heard a wonderful Vedic mantra. I don't know the Vedic mantra at all. Wonderful Vedic mantra to which this translation was happening. Look at the way rishis have looked at this. Okay, So it is the, what do they call it? It is the, I don't know. Okay, they don't call it water cycle or something. Okay, and with reverence. Yes. So sun is taking out the what, all these Ashtamurtis are full of vital life. Number one, we need to understand. Yeah, we need to take that somehow. With our modern education, we think all those, we are not sure if they have life or not. But according to our scriptures, and that is where they are the ones which actually, what do you say, enliven everything else. Okay, so the sun, Surya Devata. So everything is a Devata now, because everything is a sentient. First thing is we give sentiency to everything. And the Surya Devata drinks water from wherever he or the Surya Devata is stipulated to drink from. Okay, he doesn't drink from everywhere. Okay, there is a rhythm in which everything is working according to its own dharma. So Surya Devata drinks water and it, takes it. And when it brings, the clouds and all are not mentioned in the mantra. When it comes back as rains, okay, and it says that when the rains come, the sound expresses itself as thunder. Yes, the Akash, of course, is encompassing everything else. The Vayu ensures where the rain has to go. Okay, so we read, because of the pressure difference, whatever, the clouds
land breeze, sea breeze.
Yeah, all that we read, right? And at the global level, something easterlies, westerlies, so many things, monsoon. Yeah, so the Vayu Devata decides where it has to rain. Okay, just it's a shift in the way we think about this. The sun decides from where it takes the water. The Vayu decides where it has to rain. Yes, the rain, the lightning, the fire expresses itself out as lightning. The sound expresses itself out as thunder, and rain happens. Yes, and the water decides where it has to stay and where it has to go. What has to be. So the sun does the purification of taking all the impurities from Prithvi. Yes, it cleanses and gives back pure rain. Okay, so this was a beautiful mantra. When I heard that only, I got all goose pimples here. So every devata according to its dharma. So if you see here, what does Mother Earth says? She says that she has put everything inside. So Mother Earth is again a very sentient being. It is not just some, solid mass there. Yeah. So she decides, okay, things are going to be down. Yeah. And all the devatas work in a rhythm. And, the sun chooses not to suck. We may say, okay, it's very dry. It's not able to. It chooses not to take the water. The Vayu chooses not to, because they say when the yajna is not there, all the devatas do not have enough power to do their dharma. That is also one. All these are Vedic mantras that rishis have intuitively seen and they have written, so that we as, the so-called intelligent beings at least follow what they say and work in the yajna spirit. So that is why we see rains happen in the place where such yaga, yajna happen, where people are living in a righteous way. It doesn't happen random. Vayu decides this is where it will rain, it will rain. Yeah. So floods, whatever, everything it is happening. In fact, recently, a little of the thing, how nature is so sentient. Okay. And she is giving us this lessons all the time. It is up to us to wake up. The Japan, Indonesia, all these islands are known to mine from seas, right? They take so many sea animals and they are used for even cosmetics, forget for eating. It is such a high consumerism there. And they are the ones who actually reclaim land. And so the amount of, they say, right, Mother Earth can tolerate only to an extent. And even if she maybe moves a hair of her, we all will be gone. That's the power of her. So it now of late, a belief has come, it seems, in the Japanese and Indonesian people that she is adena kuripa tadikkirathu. What do you say? She targets. Okay, that is why they get so many natural calamities from the sea. Those islands are getting, what else can she do to protect herself? And she's also teaching all the people there. So probably they will learn from. So these are a few things for us to first see everything with reverence. The Panchabhuta, it is all a great power working. And some tiny little dust, I am here, and something I have, and whatever I know, I think it is, I don't even know anything. And I want to rule the world. I think all these are there for my consumption. So that is what happened in Vena's time, she says, right? All thieves and unjust kings, when they harass, what will the Mother Earth do? She has to teach. She is the mother. So she takes everything, she keeps, and she says, again, do tapasya and take it from me. So transformation has to come in every individual. Then I can give. It doesn't come like that.
So to bring it to our, even our day-to-day, when we see right after independence, India was full of famines, many famines. The Bengal famine happened. There were famines everywhere in some ways because of the kind of rulers we had who were just greedy, taking away. And if you really look at it also, it was like that, right? The food was being taken away for all the wrong things outside this country and the people were not getting it. So she really dried up and famines happened. And then we came in, and then India got independence, and we came back, and then the Green Revolution happened. And with that, a whole lot of food security and all that was created beautifully. But with that, some amount of, they did add some chemicals, but initially, that urea and all, it did help in growing a lot of land. Then they had asked only to put so much. But what did our people do? Now they became very, very greedy. And with more greed, they started adding more urea. Then the more urea spoiled the soil, turned the soil infertile. And then again, problems started coming in. And now it is, when you really look at the amount of pesticide that is given, the pharmaceutical, I know we are coming to a lot of the current day, this thing, but this also, I think we should be aware of what is happening so we can make the right choices for ourselves, right? So even the pharmaceutical companies, now they coat the seeds. You will not get a seed without poison coating on it. They coat the seeds with a certain, and they make hybrid seeds, and they say for these hybrid seeds, only if you give these pesticides, the seed will grow properly. Otherwise, it will not grow properly. So now the farmer has to buy the seed also. They cannot store the seeds. They have to buy the seed from these people. And then they also have to buy the pesticide, which is further, degrading the soil, adding chemicals into the soil. And then they add fertilizers, because now the microorganisms are not there to do their work of giving all the necessary ingredients in the soil. Now they have to add fertilizer. And what fertilizer? They'll give one nitrogen, they'll give one phosphorus. It is not wholesome. So then even the nutrition in that fruit or vegetable that comes out will be less. Whereas if you have multiple microorganisms growing in the soil, then that soil will be enriched. The output, the poop of each one of these microorganisms becomes a nutrient in the soil. And when that happens, so many varieties of microorganisms giving different types of poops will enrich the soil so much that even in that fruit, when you taste it, it will be so good, and has much more vitamins and minerals than the regular kind of, the chemical food. So now that we have this knowledge, we didn't have the knowledge, it's fine. But now when we have this knowledge, what is going to be my choice? I will say, oh, but organic vegetables cost so much. Why should I buy such organic vegetables? So that is where do I put the money? What am I encouraging? What is my convenience? I mean, do I choose convenience? Do I choose righteousness? Do I choose the right path? We do hear this argument, but it is so expensive. And then the other one has poison, I will definitely take it. But when they say, how can you be sure it is definitely organic? Okay, the good is always questioned. Bad, I know is bad. And I will go for that. But the good I will always question. Go find out and do it. And that can become an excuse for not buying also. Right? So here, that is where the wise man collects truth from different people and different places. He assimilates them all, makes wisdom or his own, and then makes the right choices. The choice is in such a way that it is not only good for me, it is good for the others. It is good for the future generation as well. That is a thought that is there. Just if I leave money for the next generation, is it going to be enough without respect for Mother Earth? What will the future generation then get? I can keep houses, I can keep so many things. I can keep house, I can keep a lot of jewelry, but the very air, if it is polluted, the very water is polluted, the very soil is polluted. What am I leaving for the next generation? So what is the choice? How should I change my way of living? Where should I put my money? That fortune, is it going to go as an offering, as a yagna, or as a self-centered deed? So even this, because we are on this topic, this becomes very relevant. I hope we think today, the organic world, there is enough. If you really go around, look around, really want to get organic stuff, we do get, which has naturally grown, very little chemical, almost no chemical many times. It's beautiful. It's being created. That ecosystem is now coming up. Let's be part of it.
Let us also know that we all are actually part of it.
Yeah.
When we consume chemically grown food, I am affecting Prithvi. Yes, we must know the impact that it, like the squirrel only, like the tunnel, the way I do, it is affecting that. That we need to remember. We all are interconnected. Yes, we all are, just like how that cow is, 33,000 million devatas. Our body is the solid. No, so many microorganisms and germs and whatever is there. So we all are interconnected, and what I consume has an impact on Prithvi and all. That is why she very beautifully says here, see, thieves and unjust kings began to harass me, and there was no one to protect me, ignored as I was. Yeah, when I start thinking that this world is made for me, okay, that is the problem. Yes, made for me, and I use. When I use soil, earth, whatever, it is pranashyati. Bhagavan says, no, pranashyati. That's all. We are in for doom. By everyone, I realized that the herbs and other precious plants which Brahma had given me as gifts were being used by unworthy men. That's the thing. There's no reverence. Yes, I think, okay, I have demanded and I've got, and I eat. Absolute no reverence. We think, oh, these subtle things make a huge impact. But about all this, one thing is very clear that we need to take in mind is, I do not know anything. There is a huge power which is working. Yes. So please, by remembering that huge power, make me, work harmoniously with everything, within and without. This is something I think, even so much if we remember, it makes a huge difference. Because I may not know, sometimes it gets very confusing for us, right? Okay, what to do this, what to do that. So even this, when I say, automatically we start taking the right choices. That is something we need to remember. Yeah.
Even in schools, we start studying all this water and use of water, use of wood, as though they are there for our wood, for our use. Then it is all about our consumption. We are making man the center of the world, as though everything is there for my consumption, rather than knowing that I am a part of this whole system, this whole ecosystem, this biosphere, this nature, this universe. I am just a small, tiny speck in this ocean. I am a speck of sand in that bed of sand in the ocean. I am a drop of water in that ocean. That's all I am. But what am I thinking? I am the center and everything here is for me. And that is like Vena. Living like that is like Vena, living like a speck and doing my responsibility to the best I may still not know, but to the best of my capacity, if my effort is with that sense of surrender, and I take efforts to the best of my knowledge, that thought, that intention, that I must function with humility, with surrender to Mother Earth for whatever she must give, and I must respect her. I go to a shop, this thing, no, the wall, too much cover is only convenient. Why is this government banning cover and all that? All that. So when we make our convenience the higher thing more than the righteousness, we must know that we're acting like Vena. When we make our righteousness our responsibility, then we are acting like Prithu, or at least following the advice of Prithu. Yeah.
Any thoughts, any questions? You're welcome to share, please. You can unmute yourself also, I think.
I hope you're all there.
And the discussions are adding value too. We hope that.
Is this making sense or no response? I don't know. Yeah, okay.
Yes. So now Mother Earth, what she says,
again,
do the tapasya. Yes. Yes, I have hidden. They say no, for undeserving should not be given. So now you must use the proper technique. That has to be done. So just this is in continuation of what we saw right in the beginning. Any effort that we put has its results. So the Vena kingdom impact is Mother Earth completely, hiding her seeds, putting it in. Now that has to be faced by the next generation. But they have to now that is what under the leadership of Prithu, they will do the tapasya and bring it back. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just wondering, because there's just one response. I'm wondering if the others are listening or just logged in.
Making sense? One or two will help us understand where we are.
Even if you have some disagreement, you can express here. We felt we should get on to dwell on this a little more, because very relevant for our day-to-day lives. Every day. Mother Earth is okay. Yeah.
Ma'am?
Yes, Raj. Yes.
We are listening. I am Manju with my husband's name, Rajesh. We are listening and we are enjoying it very much.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, then we'll continue. So provide me with a calf which will make me yield. So now you have to use the proper technique. You will be able to get them all out of me. This is what Mother Earth is telling. Now the technique of how to get all this out. Provide me with a calf which will make me yield milk. Provide yourself with the proper vessel into which the milk can be drawn. Look for the man fit enough to milk me. Level the surface of me so that the rains from the heavens will stay on my surface and not flow away, leaving me arid. Prithu stood listening to the words of Mother Earth. The arrow dropped out of his hand and the bow slipped from his shoulder unheeded. His eyes became thoughtful. He told her, "You are right, Devi. It is up to me to find a way of getting the best out of you. Man had been asked to work. He had been asked to plow you, plant seeds in you, and tend the growth of the plants in you. The heavens had to send the rains in the proper season, and then man's patience would be rewarded by you gladly. And man has been forgetting your worth. He has taken you for granted. Like Mother Earth in patience is a proverb which has been in use since ever so long. When such a mother has lost her patience, then the world has really become a sinful place. Do not grieve. I will set it right." So let's look at her instructions. Provide me with a calf which will make me, the moment that love starts flowing in the mother cows, heart, that milk, it is said, will start flowing on its own when it sees its baby. So when that love flows, so how will that love flow? When the love is given. That calf invokes that love. So when we give so much respect to Mother Earth, when we feel for her, when we love her so much, Mother Earth will also feel. And she will give love bountiful. So who is the calf here? The people. The people who love Mother Earth. The people who love her. Who respect her. Who revere her. Who put all efforts. And how to do that? Level the surface. He says, no, put the right seed. Then everything will happen through plowing and, putting the right seed, taking care of the land. In today's words, they could talk about topsoil. All the leaves that fall down, become a part of the soil. That is very good. But we clear up everything. It has to look clean. Okay. And we will put cement also. Ayo, it is becoming muddy all around my house. And then we will say, well mein pani nahi aa raha hai, borewell mein pani nahi hai. There's no water in the borewell. I would have cemented all around my house. No way for the water to seep into the ground. And then I'll say, no water in the borewell only. Right? So, our actions only when we act without properly knowing things. And then the government puts one rainwater harvesting as a rule, and we will say, hey, this government keeps putting some rule. Let me do something for namesake. If we understand the cycle, why all this has to be done with reverence, we must respect Mother Earth. So she is giving all these steps. And Prithu says, you are right, Devi. And he is now thinking, what all should I do? He understands. He's a wise man. Mother Earth said why she is not able to give, and he now knows. And he will start taking action. We keep performing and Mother Earth keeps. So, there are people here even now. There is Sadhguru going on Save Soil motion, mission or rally for rivers. And everybody is talking about climate change, planting trees all around. Everywhere as much as possible. All these are efforts. We must deforestation. It also, when you do deforestation, even animals are reduced. They don't have a space to live. And then they come into human spaces. Again, they are attacking humans. So again, people go and kill the animals because they have come into human spaces. Why it is? So, it's all interlinked. So as much with reverence, if we live, the rains will be good. What is the sign? Rains will be good. There is bountiful of good food that we get around. I do think we are moving into from Vena to Prithu right now. Prithu era in some ways.
A lot of awareness, actually.
Yes, there is a lot of awareness.
And this is so beautiful, isn't it? Man had been asked to work. I think this is the point that we take home today. Yes, work. That's all we need to do. With reverence, with complete surrender to that supreme force. Just keep doing our work. And man's patience would be rewarded gladly. So now he's addressing Mother Earth, but this is applicable for us in everything that we do. Right? Every little thing. Yes, it will be rewarded. It may be rewarded the way I imagine, it may not be rewarded, but it will come. What is needed from my side is the patience. Keep working with patience. These two seem to be coming again and again today.
And even children, from a young age, expose them more to nature.
Yeah.
Instead of taking them to malls, giving them the computer, making them sit in theaters, making them sit in computers, in front of computers all the time. Also, maybe some of it is a necessity and it is okay where it is a necessity, but it is a effort that you take to take them into nature, work with the soil, sit with the soil, Even in our summer camp recently, the children did Shramdhan for nature. Go out, they made beds to sow. So much hard work. They really develop an appreciation for the amount of work that goes in to get the food onto our table. Go and harvest and get, there is a fun in it, element in it. Through that fun, they learn, touch the soil. They actually touch the cow dung to make Jivamrit. They were so hesitant. And then we showed that it's not so bad actually. And, we consider cows clean and cow dung dirty. It is a shift in perspective we need to develop. It's just that shift in perspective. I think we can close for today.
Yeah, very nice. Yes, we can close. In fact, for children, for us also, we all say, oh, in nature, we feel peaceful, very calm. Why is that so? So we need to see that we all are connected. We are made of the same Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, Prithvi. We all are the same, like Krishna says, no? And that the consciousness is just running through every little thing in this, universe. So when children are exposed to that, we don't have to sit and teach them water cycle and nitrogen cycle and all. When they are just left in nature, they develop that reverence and love. Both has to go, right? That reverence and love to nature, it just gets into them. Okay, it is a joy seeing them that way. And we also feel so connected with she's our mother, isn't it? So
they all had so much trouble with going and having well water bath. It's so cold, auntie. How can we have cold water? And then first time they got the cold water on it, they went, auntie, is there geyser? Is there hot water? And all that. Then they went one time, they got that well water. And then the next day, even the last day, we said no well water bath. They said, no, auntie, we want well water bath. Okay, it's just about putting them in a space like that. They love it.
Okay, is this over, this chapter? Yeah, I think, yes.
So we can go to the meeting. Okay. Let us all bring those shifts. Let this knowledge sink in. Let us contemplate over it. Let us see in our own small ways how we can bring these shifts in our lives so that we accept all of Mother Earth as a deity and take only what we need. When we do the Bhumi Puja also, we say we are disturbing the houses when we are constructing a house of so many small organisms. They all had a house there, and now when I'm constructing the house, I'm disturbing so many creatures' houses to make my house. So I will take only as much as I need. That is a way of saying, I'm sorry, I'm disturbing your houses. So that is respect. At least acknowledging that I am taking away your house. So with that respect, with that reverence, may we be able to conduct our lives. And may Mother Earth keep showering her blessings and her love because she feels our love and reverence for her. And may the future generation have a bountiful of her love. And that is our duty. The seed we plant today will feed the future generation. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyanto Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bad Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
We'll meet again next time.